We're back on the big show celebrating 400 years of Quebec, and what a star we've got for you now. We're here at the most famous, iconic building here in Quebec City, which is the Chateau Frontenac, and Violet joins me. How are you?
Hi, I'm really good, and you?
Not as good as you, because you look fabulous. Describe what you're wearing.
Oh, I'm wearing a dress and authentic dress from 1893, the opening of the hotel. I come here since that time to drink tea, gossip about everything, and find a husband. You know anyone single for me?
Yes, me, but am I too deeply unattractive for you?
You're too young, actually. 134 years old. I need someone my age, you know.
I do feel slightly underdressed because you look marvellous.
Oh, well, thank you, but you're really good dressed. No worries about that. Time changed, fashion also.
Well, I'm still dressing in the 80s, so you're a little older than me, but there you are.
Great. So do we start with our first story?
Well, we might as well, because we're right in the lobby of the Chateau Frontenac, which is, of course, probably the most famous building in Canada, isn't it?
Probably the most famous one, yes. Well, it all begins in 1867 at the Canadian Confederation. At this time, 4 provinces were part of Canada. So there was Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, all located on the east side, close to the Atlantic Ocean. And then, a few years later, in 1871, beautiful British Columbia is created, but totally to the west side, which wasn't the best idea because it was alone on its side. So before joining Canada, it gave us some conditions, and the main one was to build, all across the country, a railroad that will link it to the other 4 provinces. And because Canadians want to have the power on both oceans, we do accept. And it is the reason why we created the Canadian Pacific Railway Company, the CP. And we recruited the best man in my time in the railway business, Mr. William Cornelius Van Horn from Chicago. You know him?
Well, no, but tell me, is he interesting?
You must be too young, that's it, I forgot. But in 1888, Mr. Van Horn became the president of the CP, and he was seeing really big for the train. Because in my time, the train is used in a commercial way to transport the wood and the cereals, but never the noble people. Because Canada has a lot of mountains, and we didn't have the time to make the tunnels, so we had to go up, go down, go up, go down. It wasn't that hard. But to make it easier for the train, we had to leave at the bottom of the first mountain, the heaviest wagon, which was the one of the restaurant. So the trip of 139 hours to go across Canada was without eating. You want to try it? You get really slim after that. But still, no one wanted to use the train, which didn't bring a lot of money in the company. But to change all this, Mr. Van Horn had a great idea, which was to build, all along the railway, a luxury hotel looking like castle. So then, the noble people would stop at each hotel to rest and eat, and continue their trip to the other side of the country. The first one was built in Alberta, in Banff, the Banff Spring Hotel, in 1888, and the same architect, Mr. Bruce Price from New York, did the second one, Le Château Frontenac. But for us, we started the construction in 1892, and we inaugurated it on the 20th of December, 1893. Well, it is now 115 years old this year. Still look young, I believe. Do you think?
Almost as glamorous as you are, because you're delicious.
Thank you. And I want to show you someone.
Oh, go ahead.
It's Mr. Santal, the dog of the hotel.
Do you know, I saw him earlier when I came in, and he's an enormous thing. He's like a little horse, isn't he?
I know, but he's so kind with everyone. So, is he over here? There he is. Hi. Bonjour, Santal. He's such a great dog. He's 5 years old, and the guests at the hotel can take him for a walk or just pet him in the entrance. He's one of the best employees we have in the hotel.
He's gorgeous, isn't he? And what is he?
A Saint-Pierre.
He's enormous and really friendly and gorgeous and black-coated and big bulgy eyes, a bit like myself.
Oh, yes, that's right. But you have red hair, so... But let me show you something else in the main entrance. Do you know that in my time, French and English didn't like each other?
I'm getting that feeling doing a lot of interviews over the last few days. We're not the most popular people here in Quebec, are we?
No, you're popular, that's not it. It's just that in the time you were not. Now you are, no worries. And just over there, this is Mr. Frontenac, from whom we've named the hotel. He was one of the most extravagant governors the New France ever had. And to represent our French ascendants, we use fleurs de lis, lily flowers. This is why you can see a lot, even in the main entrance, in the blue area. And so golden long next to the lamp, this is why we have lily flower on our flag. And this is what we call a coffered ceiling. But then, we had to represent Canada, which we did on the 3 main elevator door. You can see the 10 coat of arms of the 10 provinces in Canada, Quebec being the first one to the left, with 3 lily flowers once again. But I believe I know the biggest secret in the main entrance.
Go ahead.
Don't you think the decoration looks like a train station? It was decorated this way to remember the CP, the company that gave us the possibility to build the hotel here in 1893. Not bad, hey?
And this is really splendor, isn't it? This is what the lobby's about. It's about making people feel that old-fashioned sense of welcoming and glamour and showbiz.
And everyone, all the employees call you by your own name, because this is what it's about, five-star hotel, knowing everyone by themselves, by their names.
And you've done a good job of that. Thank you very much for showing us around, because we're going to go to other parts of the building now, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Let's see if we have some conference room available.
Okay, so we've made our way upstairs in the Chateau Frontenac. In front of me, a beautiful grand piano, a beautiful staircase. This is just classy. How do we describe it?
Victorian style. Everything is made out of marble. And we are now in the original wing of the hotel, built in 1893. I don't know why, but they call this the pink room. You know, it was Mr. Churchill's favorite room in Le Château Frontenac. Well, you know, Mr. Winston Churchill, Mr. Franklin Roosevelt, and Mr. William Lyon Mackenzie King. He was Prime Minister of Canada. In 1943, the Canadian government asked for the hotel for a period of 2 weeks. And all they told us, war reasons, we want everybody out. So we had to ask more than 800 guests to leave the hotel, to cancel between 2,000 to 3,000 reservations. Even all the employees had to leave. Only a few one could stay, and those one had to go under research made by the RCMP to prove they didn't have any criminal history. You bet rumors started to spread in the city. Wasn't my fault this time. People were sure they saw the Pope. For them, the hotel was being the new Vatican for the safety of the Pope until the Second World War ends. But that wasn't it. We learned the truth because of a man that was working here during the 2 weeks, Mr. Frank Brettel. He told us that one day he was cleaning the table of the three political men, and he found on it a book with all the details of the D-Day in it. Hopefully for us, Mr. Brettel was honest. He gave the book back to a sergeant who told him that because of his honesty, we needed to sequester him until the end of the war. No one had to know about the D-Day, but he was treated like a king, and after the D-Day, he was decorated for his honesty. But us, Quebecers, we quickly understood that the three political men came here to plan the D-Day and to talk about a lot of the biggest decision about the Second World War. And everything happened here in the pink room because it was Mr. Churchill's favorite room. Still smell the cigars, don't you think?
And I noticed when I was driving through the streets the other day, there's a bust of Roosevelt and Winston Churchill, isn't there?
Just before the St. Louis door, you know, the big wall fortification to protect the city, we have yes, we do have Mr. Roosevelt and Mr. Churchill over there. No cigar, I'm not sure if it's the real one, though. And you know what we call this circle seat in the center of the room? This one.
Go ahead.
We call this the jealousy seat. Because in my time, all the lady with no date during the ball would sit on this seat, waiting for someone to invite them to dance. Since they were all back to back with each other, they wouldn't speak with each other. The men would say we were jealous, so we've kept the name jealousy seat. You also call them wallflowers when they stand next to the wall. Mm-hmm. Oh, do you know what Quebec means?
Narrow river.
Yes, where the river narrows. So if you look to your left, which is the side that goes in the ocean, it's really large, and it becomes narrow just in front of Quebec City. This is why the First Nation, the Iroquois, give us this name. And you can see it's really close from the other side, Quebec. The other city called Lévis. This is one of the main reasons why they chose Quebec City to have the second luxury hotel. Because you know that Alberta with the Banff Spring Hotel isn't that close to Quebec. In my time, more than 100 hours of train without stopping. But we needed a luxury hotel here now for 4 reasons. The first one is that in my time, the train station of the CP was only on the other side. And we already had ferries doing Quebec-Lévis, so the people would come here to sleep. And during winter, we would have a natural ice bridge creating the two cities. So just by walking, people could come over here. But the best part about the bridge, you know that the St. Lawrence River is not a part of the government. It's a natural thing. There's no tax on it. If you would have seen the number of shops opening all along the bridge to sell everything without tax to the people. My favorite part of winter. Second reason, in my time, no metal bird flying. You know them? Mm-hmm. Well, so all the people from Europe or from England came here by boat. And the first port they would see in America, because of the St. Lawrence River, was Quebec City. We needed a luxury hotel for them to make a good first impression, because they were coming here to buy our things. Third reason, not bad at all. Quebec City was going to give to whoever would build a luxury hotel here a tax exemption of 10 years. And 10 years without tax, it's a lot of money, especially in Quebec City. And Mr. Van Horn wouldn't let that go, let me tell you. But the last reason is the most important one. They chose Quebec City because I live in Quebec City. It helps a lot, yes. Oh, and just over there.
I'd move here for you, I have to admit.
Oh, thank you. But just over there, you have some archaeological research. This was the first castle built on top of the Diamond Cliff. But it was not an hotel. It was a residence of the French governor. It was built in 1620 as a fort, and in 1647, we've renovated it and revitalized it into Le Château Saint-Louis. This is where Mr. Frontenac used to sleep. This is where his ghosts still sleep. Mr. Frontenac. He was married to a lady called Anne de la Grange. We called her the divinity. She was so pretty. But she wanted to stay in France, so they evolved the marriage apart. When Mr. Frontenac died, he asked for his heart to be sent back to his wife. This was a First Nation tradition. When she received the heart in France, she said, "I never had his heart while he was alive. Why would I get it now that he's dead?" He was a lady lover, I believe. So she sent the heart back here, and when we opened the box, the heart was broken in two. Mr. Frontenac was heartbroken. So the story says his ghost is still in the Chateau Saint-Louis. But because the two foundations of Le Château Saint-Louis and Le Château Frontenac touches, he can come here also. Sometimes the elevator's doors open by themselves. No one inside and no one asks for them. I believe he's too lazy to take the stairs.
I saw a lady in white last night. I think it was a dental nurse from Montreal. I'm not sure.
Okay. Ooh, you scared me. Oh, have you seen the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Yes.
You know that a scene of the movie was filmed here. Just at the church you can see down there, Notre-Dame de Victoire at Place Royale. This is where you have the big painting of all the Quebecers. And in the movie, it's the place where you have a lot of people singing outside of a church, and Mr. Hanks is picking up Mr. DiCaprio. This is where the movie was filmed, and it is here they slept, Mr. DiCaprio and Mr. Tom Hanks. Oh. Not in the same room. Don't start rumors, please. I think we can go somewhere else. What do you think?
Okay. Thank you very much for that. That was lovely.
No, pleasure.
So we've made our way to a quiet and exclusive part of the hotel. This isn't as glamorous as the rest, is it?
This is the employee side, but we have the chance to go in the gardens of Mr. Jean Soulard, the executive chef of the hotel. A lot of people come here to look at the gardener. I come here to look at the chef, you know.
Now, this is such an exclusive. There's not even a door to the gardens. You have to go through a window.
Yes, because it was built in 1993 on the third floor of the hotel, which is the kitchen. And the architect of the first wing, that were all around, that was built between 1893 and 1924. They didn't know that one day we had gardens over there, so no one put a door. We need to go by a window. Try this with a dress, eh? That's not easy, you know. Mm-hmm.
And Jean, you don't want a door because you don't want everybody coming up here.
Yes, I don't want it to be Oxford Street or the Champs-Élysées, you know, and that's the reason why. And you know, it's really private. Actually, you know, I have two therapy in this hotel: my garden and the Plaine d'Abraham for running, you know. And when you have to empty my head, you know, I come over here after the service, and during 5-10 minutes, you know, it's my place, really.
So let's describe what we've got then. We've got 3 lifts behind us, which are work lifts. We've got all the cups and the shampoos and things on trolleys for the staff and towels. Then we've got the beds, extra beds in case people need those, and then a large window which we're going to climb through.
Yeah, sure, we go. You need some outfit, you know.
All right, I don't mind. No, I'm all for an adventure. So open the big window. So we're going to try and climb up now. Thank you, John. And here we are. Are you going to be all right there?
Thank you, sir. Oh, yes, I am.
What an exclusive. As we walk out towards the gardens, we have the beautiful green of the copper roof.
When we get them, you know, as shiny as a new penny. After 10 years, they'll become brown like the chimney you can see, and it takes 30 years to copper to become green like this. But I heard a rumor at tea time. Copper roof lasts for 90 years, and the big tower was ended in 1924. 2013 would be the year to change them. But from what I heard, they may start working on them earlier. So if you come back and it's all shiny, it's normal. And I'll probably be married with a man working in the construction also, which is normal.
John, just marry her. She clearly loves you.
She's funny. But she's true what she say, you know, about all the copper. And we are on the roof of the main kitchen right there, okay? And of course, it looks like, you know, almost winter. But I still have some herbs, you know, all this part, all around, you know, I have some fresh herbs, you know, starting from, that's lavender, but I still have some rosemary there. I still have some thyme, we say thyme, I still have some oregano over there, a little bit sage over there.
Thank goodness you call it oregano, not oregano, like the Americans do.
Yes, that's my French side. Okay?
They always think they know best, the Americans, changing our words, don't they?
No comment.
You know what? I'm sure that one day, just for me, there'll be some violet over here. Who knows?
We have some violet. Yes, we have some violet.
For me.
During summer times, I have some flowers. You know, we for decorating some plates. Okay, of course, all the herbs. Then you know, and sometimes some experience. Then I try to do. This year, I tried to grow up some crone. I don't know the translation of crone. It's a small roots, vegetables roots. Okay, and my grandmother used to grow up this kind of vegetables, and we don't have crone here in Quebec. You know, it's the first experience, and I don't want to be the first, but I try to say, well, maybe if it's possible in Europe, you know, maybe we can try here, and next year I will say to my gardener somewhere not so far from the chateau, well, try to do so, okay, and we will have some crone in Champlain, for example, or restaurant, gastronomic restaurant.
We do a thing called corn on the cob where we put butter over it.
Yes. Yes,
delicious, absolutely delicious. I tell you, I'm not stupid. You thought I was thick when I came
No,
up.
I did not. But I would like to tell you a little something about the orange bricks of the hotel. Because, you know, we wanted to do an hotel looking like a castle, but we didn't follow the main characteristic, which is being built with stone. But we got those bricks because of Mr. Napoleon Bonaparte. You know him, the one with stomach problems? In 1806, he intended his blockade against Great Britain, which meant the English had to come here in their English colony to supply. But you know, to cross the Atlantic Ocean, you had to ballast the boat, which means putting a weight in it. And the English decided to use orange brick from Scotland. They arrived in Quebec, leave all the brick on the port, went back with our wood, which pleased us a lot because the brick was free. So we took it all and made our houses with it. And when the first architect came, Mr. Price, he realized that to harmonize itself perfectly with the city around, the hotel needed to be built with the same orange brick from Scotland, which we did. But, there's a but. We built the last wing in 1993 for the century of the hotel. And you all know the Scottish people went from doing bricks to doing Scotch. No more orange brick for us. We had to use an American company to whom we sent the tint of orange we could find. And they've created for us a unique brick called Le Château Frontenac, just for us. Pretty original, hey?
Wonderful.
I know.
And a couple of anomalies about this building, which I noticed coming here through the corridors today. Some of them kind of bend, don't they? They're not straight corridors.
The crooked corridor, yes. Well, you know, the reason is really easy. The architect was drunk. No, that's not true. Mr. Walker as painter. Oh, I'm so funny. I'm so popular. The architect, Mr. Painter, built that wing in 1909, and he wanted to use all the space he had. So he decided to follow the property line of the hotel. That was not straight. So on all the level, the wing Mont Carmel has a main corridor crooked like this one. And we also have 3 third level. Third level up, third level middle, and third level down. You can say, I was at the third level, I am at the third level, and I'm going to the third level. How great is that?
And of course, royalty's been here as well. Her Madge has been here many times, and the Queen Mother. John, does it change you? Does it give you a special feeling? And I presume you put a special menu together?
Yes, well, of course, you know, for many reasons. But like I said before, we try to show what we have the best here, what is grow up around this hotel, and the best food we have, okay, and that's what I try to do. And I say, why I have to make a recipe from Scotland or from, I don't know, the king of Asia, you know. I could show some what we have the best here about food, about our knowledge also, and that's what we do.
John Soulard, thank you so much for talking to us, the executive chef here, giving us this rare exclusive on top of the building.
You can come anytime, you know, it will be free entrance for you.
Thank you very much, John. And Violet, what's your proper name? Because you're a star.
Violet?
No, and what's your proper name? Come on.
What do you mean? I'm not sure I get it this time. Violet Beauséjour, which means...
I want your proper name, because you're a star, and I'm going to make you a star.
I don't understand English.
What's her proper name?
Well, it's Beauséjour, I think.
Thank you, Violet. You've been a star. And thank you for showing us around and giving us this rare exclusive on top of the Chateau Frontenac, one of the most beautiful buildings in the world and the big star of Quebec. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Hope you'll come back.